Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to talk about the most dangerous countries in the world. These countries are known for their high crime rates, political instability, and various other factors that make them risky places to visit or live in. But before we start, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. That gives us more energy to make new content and new videos for you. So, without wasting time, let's dive in and check out the most dangerous countries in the world. First on the list is Afghanistan. This country has been a state of conflict for decades, with ongoing violence and terror attacks. The US State Department has issued a Level 4 travel advisory, which means that travelers should not visit this country at all. The situation is so dangerous that even the Taliban, which has taken control of the country, has warned against travel to certain areas. Afghanistan has been a hotbed of terrorism for many years, with groups like the Taliban and ISIS operating within its borders. This country is also one of the most heavily mined countries in the world, with an estimated 10 million landmines scattered throughout the country. These landmines pose a significant danger to civilians, particularly in rural areas. This country is one of the largest producers of opium in the world, and drug trafficking is a major problem in this country. The trade in drugs funds the Taliban and other criminal groups, and addicts face significant health risks. Afghanistan is also prone to natural disasters such as earthquakes, landslides, and floods. These disasters can cause significant damage and loss of life. Next up is Syria. The civil war in Syria has been raging since 2011, and it has led to displacement of millions of people. The country is also home to several terrorist groups, including ISIS. The State Department has issued a Level 4 travel advisory for Syria as well. The use of chemical weapons, such as sarin gas, has been reported in Syria during the conflict, which has led to international condemnation. Terrorist groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda have a presence in Syria, and they have been responsible for numerous attacks against civilians. The conflict in Syria has created a significant humanitarian crisis, with millions of people in need of humanitarian assistance, including food, shelter, and medical care. The disappearance of civilians has been a major problem in Syria, with many people being taken into custody by government force or non-state armed groups and never heard from again. Even women and girls in Syria have been subjected to sexual violence by government forces, non-state armed groups, and other actors with little resource of justice. Moving on to Somalia. This country is known for its high crime rates, piracy, and political instability. The State Department has issued a Level 4 travel advisory for Somalia too, warning travelers against all travel to this country. Somalia is a country that faces many dangers and challenges, both natural and man-made. Here are some interesting facts about dangers in Somalia. Somalia is known for being a hotbed of piracy, especially in the waters of its coast. Pirates have attacked ships and taken crew members hostage, often demanding large ransoms for their release. Somalia is prone to drought, which can lead to famine and starvation. In recent years, severe droughts have affected millions of people in the country. Somalia is also target for terrorist organizations such as Al-Shabaab, which has carried out numerous attacks in the country, including suicide bombings and gun attacks. Somalia has been a state of civil war since the early 90s, which has led to widespread violence and displacements of people. Somalia has hit hard by disease outbreaks, including cholera and COVID-19, which can spread rapidly in a country with limited healthcare resources. Somalia has suffered from environmental degradation, including deforestation, soil erosion, and desertification, which can lead to reduced agricultural productivity and food insecurity. Gender-based violence is a serious problem in Somalia, with women and girls at particular risk of sexual violence, domestic violence, and female genital mutilation. Another country on the list is Yemen. The ongoing conflict in Yemen has created a humanitarian crisis, with millions of people displaced and in need of aid. The State Department has issued a Level 4 travel advisory for Yemen, warning travelers against all travel to this country as well. Yemen has been a state of civil war since 2015, with various groups vying for control of the country. The conflict has led to a significant loss of life and displacement. The conflict in Yemen has created one of the world's worst humanitarian crises, with millions of people in need of humanitarian assistance, including food, shelter, and medical care. Yemen is facing a severe famine, with millions of people at risk of starvation due to the conflict, economic collapse, and other factors. Children have been recruited into armed groups in Yemen, with reports of both government and non-state armed groups using child soldiers. Yemen is also heavily mined, with landmines and unexploded ordnance posing a significant danger to civilians, particularly in rural areas. Finally, we have Venezuela. This country is facing a political and economic crisis, with high crime rates, food shortage, and hyperinflation. The State Department has issued a Level 4 travel advisory for Venezuela as well. Here are some interesting facts about dangers in Venezuela. Venezuela has experienced significant political unrest in recent years, with protests, riots, and clashes between government forces and opposition groups. Venezuela is facing a severe economic crisis, with hyperinflation, food and medicine shortages, and widespread poverty. This country has one of the highest murder rates in the world, with crime rates rising sharply in recent years due to the economic crisis and political instability. There have been reports of human rights abuses in Venezuela, including arbitrary detention, torture, and extrajudicial killings. Gang violence is a major problem in Venezuela, with gangs controlling many urban areas and engaging in violence and extortion. Corruption is pervasive in Venezuela, with reports of government officials engaging in embezzlement and other forms of corruption. The economic crisis in Venezuela has led to a significant number of people leaving the country, with many seeking refuge in neighboring countries or further afield. So, there you have it, folks. These are the most dangerous countries in the world. If you're planning to travel, make sure to check the State Department's travel advisories first to stay safe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.